Hello, Steeler Nation, and welcome to Stryker's Inside Slant, part of Steeler Nation, SteelerNation.com, obviously. Today, we've got a fun thing to talk about. It is a quarterback controversy that isn't really even a controversy. It's really late in the season to have a quarterback controversy since we're at week 7 already. I mean, Justin Fields is fairly established in his first 6 weeks. He has 4 wins and 2 losses. Thought he did a good enough job in that Dallas game to win that game. Obviously came back pretty well in that Indy game as well. But just ran out of time and didn't score on that last drive. Something that our other quarterbacks we've been used to seeing being able to do with Ben Roethlisberger and even with Kenny Pickett. Say what you want about Kenny Pickett and how bad of a quarterback is he. He knew how to close a game. If he had the ball at the end of the game, we had a good shot of winning. He was really good at it in the fourth quarter. I'm waiting for Fields to do that. Still waiting for Fields to do that. Guys, this is a live show. Anything you want to talk about, questions, comments, whatever's on your mind, we are here from you. Charlie, stick with Fields. Don't stop the momentum. Great point, Charlie. And I know that's like a big thing that everybody is talking about right now. That is the talking point. Stick with Fields. And you see the title of mine is like Wilson or Fields? Yes, please. I'm not from a situation where I necessarily need to stick with Fields. I won't lie too. Last week, watching that game was pretty rough in the first half. I was disgruntled. It felt like the Matt Canada offenses, the Randy Fichtner offenses, we couldn't move the football, couldn't do anything. Defense is getting turnovers. That's the only thing we were doing, but it just was an anemic defense and anemic offense. And for some reason, this defense's MO for the past few years, they score a touchdown on the first drive and then they shut them down. So I don't know what it is about this defense that they can't get their crap together on the first drive, but it's turning into a trend now. I don't know if the rest of you notice it. This is something that I notice. Want to get off that trend. But as far as for Justin Fields, I know he did have 2 touchdowns running, a great rushing touchdown also by Najee Harris. Congratulations for his first touchdown. Could have had one earlier, but dropped at the 1-yard line for us to sustain that win earlier in the year. Don't take that away from Najee. He should have 2 touchdowns. Doesn't, but he's a team player. So in my opinion on Russell Wilson, I'll give you my full opinion. You guys can agree with me, disagree with me. We'll see what Jason has to say too. I'm okay with Russell Wilson this week. Fields hasn't been that great. At least got to see what he can do. With Brian, let Fields be running back or wide receiver and roll with Russ. There's a Slash fan right there. I don't remember watching Cordell Stewart, but he was able to do all of those roles, and he was actually a very good receiver. Better than anybody else we have on our team, not named George Pickens currently. If you can believe that. But for me, we brought in Russell Wilson for a 1-year rental. He's only going to be on our team this year. He is a Super Bowl caliber quarterback. He's a multiple Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. I want to see what Russell Wilson can do with this offense. I know he doesn't have the mobility of Justin Fields, but I will say this. If Russell Wilson starts this game, we are also going to see Justin Fields. It does not mean Justin Fields isn't going to play at all. You can bet your bottom dollar Justin Fields is going to come out in certain packages, whether it's short yardage packages, whether it's goal line packages, certain parts of the field. If you want to try to get a bump in momentum in the game, maybe you throw him in for a package on a hurry up. It is going to drive defenses wild because they're not going to know how to adjust from one set to the other because the rules are going to change from one quarterback to the next. Russell Wilson's on the field. I expect more passes. You put in Kenny Pickett, I expect more running. This could be a situation where we have a little bit of both. And I'd love to see that. I think it'll give, especially all the teams in our division, that's a big headache. If you have to plan for 2 quarterbacks and having them be as different as they are, It's going to be a very tough out for any other team. Even the Ravens are going to have trouble with that. But we have to figure out a way to keep putting that ball in the end zone. And congratulations to Justin Fields and company for putting up 30 points for the first time in a while. I think we had a 30-point game last year with Rudolph, didn't we? I'll check that out here. Why is this thing just cutting my freaking windows? Can I only have a certain number of windows? No, I can have all the windows I want. It's my world. But I've got the team histories right. Oh, that's right. They cut this one. I don't think this one has last year's record. It does not have last year's. Yeah, I don't see it from last year, so I'll have to check that out later off of a different website, but no biggie. Corey Frank. Stryker, I'm sorry, but you do not start Fields with our suspect line. If Russ gets sacked 4 or 5 times, this is on time. Oh, you're saying the other way. You do not start Wilson with the suspect line. You need Fields' mobility to be able, and that's a great point. I can't argue that point, Frank. I also can say if Russell Wilson does get banged up, we have Justin Fields. So it's a situation where this is one of the better teams to put Russell Wilson out against. Jets and Giants. These are the two teams you want them to see because they're, Jets still have a decent defense. I'm not really afraid of it. But yeah, our line has to play better, especially now that we don't have our center. That's going to be difficult. And that's the biggest argument I think you can have, having that aspect of the offensive line issues, because I think the guards are set, tackles are set. They played enough with Semi-Alu back, and what's it? Anderson, who's starting on the other side right now? I got to look it up. Right now, we got Semi-Alu starting. Mason McCormick is starting on the other spot, it looks like, at right guard. Zach Frazier on offense. Zach Frazier's out. Ryan McCollum will start for us this weekend. Of course, Broderick Jones then on the right side. Dan Moore on the left side being able to come on in. We have a lot of good talent. James Daniels, Troy Fontenot, and Nate Herbig, and Dylan Cook all on IR. So that sucks. That definitely sucks. I don't know if Dylan Cook was making the team or making the roster, but especially since we had Fontenot, especially at the beginning of the season. But that is a rough-looking line. You're right. It's a rough-looking line, and I know Wolfgang's with you too. Hey, Wolfgang, good to see you again. Man, I hope this doesn't backfire in Tomlin's face. I hope we all are hoping that. Corey! Yeah, Wilson, my bad. Yeah, I knew what you're trying to say. I'm doing a pretty good job of being able to figure out what people are trying to say. We may lose Justin. Why is that, Emmanuel? Let me know what your reasoning is on that. Wolfgang, Jones is not set. True. Well, Jones has not been having the best year, but he's also playing with one arm. So I don't know if that's the biggest issue with him right now, but I know it's a factor. Sean Peters, how you doing, Sean? Stryker, I think the only issues between Russ and Justin is the line. You're onto something. I think Russ does make our offense more potent. Yeah, but Justin Fields has a great deep ball as well. I just think Russell Wilson's intermediate ball is better than Fields. And that's what you're weighing. That's your options right now. They both can throw the short. They both throw it fine. They're both not going to get intercepted on those sideline passes because they both have strong arms. Intermediate balls, I think, favor Russell Wilson a bit more. He's still good at the deep ball. I still think Fields is better at the deep ball. But we haven't had a lot of shots down the field. And when they do, we're on the sideline. They get squeezed out of bounds. It's difficult to really know what we have on those aspects when we're throwing the deep ball, when we're not getting it in the middle of the field and getting people open in the middle of the field. But we got to start doing that as well, Sean. I'll tell you that. Brian Dyer, send the Jets a 7th for Williams and 5th for Kirk. Is Kirk on the Jets right now? I know was on there. Who is the Mike Williams is definitely there. I give them a low pick for Mike Williams. They're probably not going to trade him since we're playing them this week, though I'd love to have him. Absolutely would love to have him. Kirk is not on this team. So yeah, so it's but I'd take Kirk in a heartbeat. Kirk is a better X receiver for our system. He's more of a possession receiver. I do like Williams. He had good years with the Chargers, wherever San Diego, LA, wherever the hell it is. Who cares? With the Chargers, but the X receiver on that team was not Mike Williams. The X receiver was Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is a guy I would have taken in a freaking heartbeat. I didn't even know he was available when San Diego, the Chargers, traded him at the beginning of the season. I was like, damn, I would have rather had Keenan Allen than Brandon Ayuk with the price point and the headaches you get with Brandon Ayuk. Keenan Allen is a smooth, savvy route runner, excellent hands. You guys saw that full well when we had our linebackers trying to stop him on the scoring drive, last drive of the game when they beat us, and I think they were San Diego at the time when they beat us, and then we got to beat them again when they were LA. Editor Dean, I want to see what Russ can do, but at the same time, we need to keep him healthy for our tougher games. Yeah, but we do have to see what he can do, and these are not our tougher games. The line is suspect, but Jets and Giants aren't the best at rushing the passer. It's not like we're throwing up against Cleveland, not throwing up against Cincy, not throwing up against the Ravens. Those guys are definitely like killer lines. Chargers had a killer line. Defensive line is what I'm talking about. Killer defensive line. Corey Frank, I wonder if we're making this change so that we won't have to give the Bears that 4th round pick, which is a 6th rounder, and also if Fields really balls out the rest of the year, what will his contract look like? How much are we offering to pay him? We're offering to pay him starting quarterback salary if the guy can get us to the playoffs and win a game in the playoffs. He's looking at a $30 million payday, at least. At least. If he has a meandering year, in the 20s, that's what you pay those guys, between 20 and 30. That's what starters make in this league. And they're awesome ones that are making 40 to 50. We don't have an awesome one. Sean Peters. Russ won't be afraid to throw to Pat a lot either, which is what we need. Yeah, we need those shots over the middle to Pat and Washington and Connor. I think our tight ends as receivers are more of a threat than our wide receivers outside of George Pickens. I know Calvin Austin's, he's a hit or miss guy. He's a boomer bust guy. He's going to make a big player. He's going to be invisible. Van Jefferson's been freaking invisible. I want to see Wilson on the field to at least see what he can do. We got to work him the frick into this game. We didn't work him in as much last game. I saw him run some patterns. I'm going to be watching him when he's on the field this week. I think he's number 10 now. Or one of the single digits, somewhere around there. I got to look it up. Let me get his number. I know he's one of the lower. Yep, number 10. Had it on the dot. Wow, look at me. Being right about something. Yeah, so we'll have to see how that works out. Cooley, you got my text. Foo and a 4th rounder for Tank Dell. Hell yes. I take Tank Dell yesterday. Yeah, you were right about Tank Dell. I was wrong. That's why I'm still on Steeler Nation and Coach is gone. That rhymed. Sean Peters. Is Cortland Sutton still a legit possibility? I think so, especially with Russ starting. I would love Cortland Sutton. I would love him. He's an X type. He's a possession type receiver. That guy, give me the Waddles, give me the Kirks, give me the Suttons, give me the Keenan Allens, DJ Charks. Those are the guys I like. We don't need a boom, take the top off the field type of guy. We need a possession receiver that gets open on the breaks. That's the way the Steeler offense works. Hell, give me frickin' Deontay Johnson back. I'd take him back in a heartbeat. I wouldn't have let him go. I would like, calm down. We got Russell Wilson. Oh, what's that? We have Justin Fields now too. If Deontay Johnson was on the team this year, we'd be undefeated. We would actually be undefeated. Our wide receiver core, in that instance, with having Calvin Austin be the slot, I'm much more comfortable with that than this mishmash or whatever we have people running on and off the field that are not doing plays. So We got to figure out what they are. Brian Dyer, we need to cut the crap. They don't want to give a fourth to the Bears. I feel they are keeping Fields' playing time down, so it will be a 6th round. I don't think that's a factor at all, and I know it's the second time it's been mentioned now, so I'm going to address it. When you make a trade like that, getting a starting caliber quarterback for a 4th round pick is nothing. Absolutely nothing. You don't bat an eye at it, especially if he ends up making the playoffs and winning a playoff game. You laugh that 4th round pick to the bank, and you gladly hand it over to them since they gave us their 2nd rounder, which ended up essentially being a 1st round pick. 1st pick of the 2nd round for Claypool. Freaking Claypool. Thank you. We've turned that into Joey Porter Jr. We're much happier. But I will gladly throw that 4th round pick to the Bears if Justin Fields shows us that he can be a world burner and be a starting franchise quarterback. That is value and a half, because you expect to give up a 1st round pick, 2nd round pick for a franchise playoff type caliber quarterback in the NFL, especially when they're still on their 1st contract. We turned down his 5th-year option this year. He's still on his rookie contract. Nobody trades rookie quarterbacks except the Steelers and the Bears. Bye, Kenny Pickett. Sorry. Just the fellas. Just hopped in here, but it is 100% that confirmed. Is it 100% confirmed that Russ is starting? Thought Tomlin said undecided. It's still undecided, but what you have to do with Tomlin, I'm not sure if you are a Steeler fan or not, but we welcome all fans, so welcome to the show. Just the fellas. The point is, what you have to do is watch the participation and practice to see how the trend is going to go for that week. So far, today, Wednesday, 1st day of practice, Russ Wilson took the snaps with the 1s. That's trending toward, right now, 1 day in, trending toward Russell Wilson being the starter on Sunday. Now, I don't know if tomorrow they're going to throw Fields on the field to see how he does and then decide it on Friday, last practice, to see who starts. But this is a conundrum. Still up in the air, still not said, but right now the trend is Russell Wilson will be the starter because he practiced with the 1s today. He practiced with the 2s all last week, and I told everybody Russell Wilson is starting last week. Or no, sorry. Justin Fields is starting last week. Because that was where the trend went. There was no 2 ways about it. Right now, the trend is starting to push a little bit more to Russell Wilson's favor. We'll see how tomorrow's practice ends up. Hondo! How you doing, Hondo? Got to see what Russ can do. Obviously, the team knows more than we do. I am sure this was a conversation this week. Fields did well. I'll take the experience. I'm fine with either. And still, that's why, I said, Wilson or Fields? Yes, please. I'm fine with either being a starter. I don't think this is a this or that. I'm like yes or yes. It's like 1A, 1B. You're not really changing much. You're getting some different things. You're getting more savviness. You're getting some Super Bowl experience and some deep playoff experience. When you have Russell Wilson on the field, you're getting athleticism, ability to get those tough 1st downs with his feet, short yardage situation with Justin Fields. So use them both. Use them both, Hondo. That's what I want to see. I want to see Fields coming in a short yardage and goal line. I want to see Russell Wilson out there in the middle of the field pushing the ball down the field. Stone hands Deontay Johnson. Everybody says that. I just want you to know, you can look at the statistics. George Pickens actually dropped more passes than Deontay Johnson when he was on our team. That's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because I'm hard on my wide receivers. And Deontay Johnson had way more targets than George Pickens. He's in the hundreds. Pickens was in the 60s and 70s. And he had more drops. More drops per attempt. Cooley, 7th round to Carolina for DJ. I would take that. But I think there's a rule that we're not allowed to trade back for Deontay Johnson. I think there's a rule somewhere that you can't trade back for a player you traded in the same year. But if they got cut, you could pick them back up. Just the fellows, welcome back. With all these young wide receivers coming into the league, we should not give up capital to trade for a Sutton. Well, It depends on what we think we're going to do. We're a good team. We're in the upper echelon with a good record at 4-2. We're keeping pace with the rest of the AFC. I think there's only like one undefeated team left in the AFC. Is it KC? Is that the last? Let me see. NFL standings. Because I know the Bills aren't undefeated anymore. They're 4-2. We're same record as the Bills. Chiefs are undefeated. And Texans are 5-1. So we're keeping pace with the rest of the league. We're 4-2 along with the Bills and the Ravens. And then everybody else is down a peg. So, yeah, it would have been nice to, especially the game that hurt us is the Colts game. That's the game that hurt us. That's going to turn out to tie breaks, AFC tie breaks, AFC conference tie breaks. That was a big loss. The Dallas loss hurt, but it doesn't really hurt us in the standings other than the head-to-heads where Ravens beat Dallas. We lost to Dallas. We got them back on the Raiders. We beat Raiders. They lost to the Raiders. So we're kind of still tied with that, but it's going to come down to usually the tiebreak within the division is divisional record, which we end up doing very well. Cooley, Fields has been okay, but winning more with his legs than his arm. Let Russ have a start to see where he's at. I'm with that too. Yinza! Like to see a Yinza. We scored 32 points. We need to not bench anyone. That's an excellent point as well. But we got rid of Mason Rudolph. He got us 30 points in that crap offense. Mason Rudolph. And we let him go. We didn't offer him a contract. Damn, Stryker, correct twice, right? Cooley, the rule states that a team cannot trade for a player and then reacquire them within 2 years. Oh, I thought it was just 1 year, not 2 years. Thank you for correcting me on that. That's cool. That's a cool rule. Now we all know, and we're all smart of that. The more you know. I'm going to go quickly now through the injury report that we currently have that was put out because we've had one full day of practice already. And I did bring that up. So Najee Harris has a rib issue right now. He had what a monster game for Naj. Man, I loved watching him run. Last week was Naj. He could do no wrong last week. Keep running it, Naj. Rib injury, he's going to have to play with those. I fully expect him to be back and practicing tomorrow. DeMonte KZ has an ankle. He did not practice. Nick Herbig still with that hamstring string, did not practice. Zach Frazier is going to be out. He's already listed as out. Did not practice. Alex Highsmith was limited. Hurt his groin. He's got that groin still. It's still an issue, but he said it in the interview today. He feels great. He thinks he's ready to play this week. We will see if that trend starts going up into full practices tomorrow. And then if he finishes with full practice on Friday, I expect him fully to not have an injury designation if that's the trend. Isaac Semealu had a rest day today, did not practice. Michael Pruitt was back again, the tight end. He had a full practice and special team star. Full practice today. He's been out for a while. Cordell Patterson, who's going to be the next quarterback, or so he tweeted, stated he still has that ankle. He did not practice today, so I don't expect him to be the quarterback this week. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Larry Okunjobi, all given rests, as well as Semealu. So those guys are going to be playing this week. Well-deserved rest. They're vets. They're monsters. They can play. They know how they're doing. Let's take a look over the Jets side. We got Michael Carter. He didn't practice. He's the cornerback. He has a back injury. DJ Reed, the other corner, with a groin, did not practice. Aaron Rodgers had an ankle injury. He's going to be slowed, and he got sacked a bunch. Did not practice. He will practice tomorrow probably. He's getting a rest day. It's also short week for these guys. Guys, we're getting them on a short week. It's just fun. So these banged up guys are going to have a tough time coming back. Mike Williams, non-injury personal, did not practice. That might be the I'm staying home, trade me, non-injury personal. That means something to me when he does not show up for practice after he got thrown under the bus by his non-practicing quarterback for the game, stating that it was his fault in the interception. Whereas Boomer would have always said on ESPN to Neil O'Donnell in the Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys, perhaps he should not have thrown the interception. Fundamentals, people. That was a great commercial. Tyler Conklin was a limited practice guy. He's a good tight end for them. Will McDonald, defensive end, has shoulder, was limited. Morgan Moses with a knee, the offensive tackle, was limited. Tyron Smith was limited. Non-injury. He's a vet rest day today, so he's going to be playing. He'll come back. Chaz Surratt with the linebacker with the heel was limited today. And Devontae Adams, who they just acquired, who did not play last week in the game because he was sick. Ow, my hamstring, can't play. That's the reason why he didn't play against the Steelers last week. He was done playing. He was out the door already. He didn't want to get hurt and not be able to be traded because a guy that didn't play last week should have had issues clearing physical. No issues clearing the physical. None. Zero. Zilch. So that's what you get sometimes when you get a guy like Devontae Adams. Writing was on the wall, and I'm pretty sure there's some tampering involved in that situation. So the way this is working out, obviously Devontae Adams is questionable. If he does actually have a hamstring, it will affect his speed a little bit. Tyler Conklin that we're talking about, he is a starter who is questionable. Same thing with Morgan Moses, the right tackle. And Will McDonald is also starter, as well as DJ Reed being the right cornerback and Michael Carter being the nickelback. A lot of injuries. That's 3 starters on D, 4 starters on O, including Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure he's going to be playing, though. But that's the way it's looking right now. A lot of starters banged up for them, coming off a short week, off of a physical game, and they get to play the physical Steelers in the physical town of Pittsburgh on Sunday night. Just the fellas, Deontay had 33 career drops with Steelers. Pickens has 8 career drops. What narrative are you pushing? Those numbers are off, absolutely off. I'll be able to pull them up, go year by year. Check them out off of the years that they are playing together, especially the last year with Fox Sports. I think Fox Sports is the only one that keeps drops, accurate drops. It was Mike Williams' fault. He has to stay in between the numbers, and SL Redline can't release inside. Still a dick move. Dick move for Rodgers to throw his player under the bus off of a high pass on the red line. Still. Guy had a chance at it. He tried to come back and make it to the ball. Problem with being a quarterback is it's your fault for letting the ball out of your hands. Yeah, it's supposed to be in one spot, and that's how interceptions happen. But if you're going to throw your guy under the bus before you even acquire another wide receiver, I guess you knew they were acquiring, then keep your damn mouth shut. I always had a big problem with any quarterback that threw any of their teammates under the bus. Peyton Manning threw his offensive line under the bus when we beat him in the playoff game, divisional round. The Bettis fumble with the shoestring tackle by Roethlisberger. Threw his offensive line under the bus. You know who did not throw his offensive line under the bus? Ben Roethlisberger, that won a Super Bowl with one of the worst offensive lines pass blocking in NFL history in 2008 because of his athleticism, his way to extend plays, being so tough to tackle in the backfield. He was still getting hit at 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. But he was still being able to shove off those hits and to deliver the ball down the field. I really miss that style and watching him play. Get a little bit with watching Josh Allen play, but still, Ben was his own beast. Ben was his own beast. Tim Burrow! Hey, Stryker! Dreadlocks Tiger told me you're on. I didn't get the notice from you. Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, I didn't put out the Twitter notice. I was out watching the comment with my daughter. I threw it up on Steeler Nation. And then I had to just get everything ready and get my iced coffee ready as well. I'm on a liquid fast. I haven't had anything to eat since Sunday. I get 1 iced coffee a day, and I get my my protein milk drink after my workout every morning. So that's what I'm going with this week, and tons of water. That's all, and every once in a while, a cup of tea at night. So that's what I'm doing this week, trying to reach till Friday. Friday night, I'm going to go out and start having food and drink from that point on. Just fellas, go look them up. I can't do it during the show, man. I'll do it after the show, and we can talk about it next week. Tim Burrow, it's wrong that Tomlin prejudges months ahead of time. with the outcome of his lie is when Tomlin prejudges ahead of time. When the outcome of his prejudges months ahead of time. When the outcome of his lie is when he lies and says there'll be competition such as quarterback. Evidently, there is competition because Russell Wilson got the first team snaps today. He said every play that he needed to do better than before that. Then he got specific and asked AB that one. AB, Antonio Brown, are you talking about? Antonio Brown was awesome. He was freaking awesome. Just fellas, just because Aaron Payton understands ball the highest degree, they'll gladly share what it was. They also, those guys also only have like 1 and 2. Well, it was 1 for a very long time with Rodgers. He ended up winning his second Super Bowl while being a worse quarterback than Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow could have won a Super Bowl with that team. Manning was dog crap the year they won the Super Bowl. The Broncos won the Super Bowl with Manning. He had a good year his first year. They didn't win the Super Bowl. The year that he won it, he was dog crap. He was terrible. And still got himself up off the ground and threw a ball to complete it against us on a 3rd down play that killed us. To Burrow. But once Mike made the prejudgment, and so basically did his teammates by voting him as sole offensive captain, and it was inevitable, I don't know, for Mike to go Russell, but he doesn't have to lie to us fans. Well, just so you know, the team votes on the captain, not the coaches. The team vote on the captains, and the Russell Wilson has been walking out every game to flip the damn coin. So he's on our team for a reason. Just the fellas, I ain't saying this in any spiteful way either. Only so many characters, all love. This is great. We love these conversations too, just the fellas. I'm open to all. I'm not going to throw down anybody's opinion. I will discuss all of the opinions, and I will give my opinion on things. To Burrow and I we disagree a lot, but we all love the same team. So I'm not going to sometimes you get on message boards and people get all haters and like, oh, you can't think that way. That's dumb, or you're an idiot. Yeah, I'm not that way. I do not do that. It's fun to have the conversation. Dreadlock, how you been, man? It's been a while. Hope you're doing well, Stryker. I hope you are too, Tiger. Glad you told told Tim Burrow that we're up and running. Got a Thule? Be honest with me, fans. Do you think Wilson will be standing upright on Sunday night behind a banged up and inexperienced offensive line? Fields' ability to run is indeed especially right now. That's why I think they're going to use both. I don't think they're really going to throw everything on top of Russell Wilson this game, even if he's playing. But I think they have a better shot with the Jets going up against them than, say, the Chargers, say the Raiders, say the anybody in our division. Everybody in our division can rush the passer. Cincy, Cleveland, Baltimore, they all have pass rushers. All of them. Like Jets Giants is our only chance to get him up to speed. Only chance to see if he's able to go and get up to speed. So we're going to see what we have in him, I think, this week. I think we're going to see. And I hope he's upright. I don't know. We'll have to see how good the pass rush is against a brand new center. That's the thing that worries me is the brand new center. To Burrow. In other words, since Jarvis Jones threw Percy Harvin the third, and now with Russell and all the dozens of examples of Tomlin's prejudice, he lies and says competition will decide. Well, it looks like competition did decide in the preseason because he gave Russell Wilson the QB1 from the preseason. And you don't lose your job to injury is the other word that we always argue about back and forth. This situation, I think they're probably going to go with Russell Wilson. And obviously it's something you don't like and you're going to blame it on Tomlin, but that was the way it was trending at week 1. If he didn't re-injure that calf muscle right before week 1, he was playing. He was starting week 1. But that's what happened. Bradley, Fields all day. Also, we got another vote for Fields. Robert, someone's Tomlin hate is showing. We know that. When COVID hit, I started the intermittent fasting and dropped 40 or 50 pounds. That's awesome, Tim Burrow. And you really notice it most when you get at least 36 hours catharsis purge. Yeah, which you hit keto at 36. Toxins in your body, you start burning fat. Yeah, you also start 3 days. 3-day fast is when you reset your immune system. So I'm doing that one right now. That's why sometimes when you have flus, you don't want to eat. And it's your body saying, I need to fast to purge this, get everything running. Don't waste energy on digestion. But yeah, I do long fast as well as intermittent. Intermittent, usually I'm eating between like noon and 6 every day. I try to keep it down in that window area, sometimes noon to 4. Sometimes I snake eat and just have one meal. But right now I've been purging and I got real heavy again on Sunday after the game. I'm like, that's it for today. I'm eating today. And then Monday started it and I've dropped about 8 pounds already this week. But I'm still drinking my protein shakes in the morning, still have my iced coffee. Not getting a lot of calories, but I also do CrossFit. So I'm doing CrossFit every morning as well. I've done it. I had a hockey game Monday night, CrossFit Tuesday morning, CrossFit this morning, and then CrossFit tomorrow morning before I have to travel for work. So yeah, it's working out. Then this is the first time I've really gone hard during a fast. Usually I do light exercise during a fast. So I'll just do calisthenics, but I'm still doing my CrossFits and I'm still hitting my numbers and I feel good. Just fellas, how do you think the fans media react if the O-line is fine and Russ puts up a 10-point first half? I don't know. I don't think we're going to be happy if Russ Wilson doesn't get on the field immediately, take him down for a touchdown. Steeler fans are going to be really like, I'm going to the game this week. I'm not going to boo Russ, not in his first game back. But Steeler fans, if we're not moving the football in the first half and we're down by 2 scores, do you put Fields back in? But I honestly think we're going to see both quarterbacks. I really do, Justin fellas. Really think we're going to see both quarterbacks in this game. Tomlin says competition, but Russ is 95% of the snaps, and then Justin will get almost nothing, and Mike will say it was fair. Mike will say it was fair. Russell starts. It's trending that way. We'll have to see tomorrow's practice results, Thursday and Friday's practice results to see if Russell Wilson's still taking snaps to the ones. And I fully believe Friday it will be split snaps with the ones. You heard it from me first. Why? Because I think we're running a 2-quarterback package offense this week. I'm saying it. Fields could be the new version of Slash. Has to be a better wideout than all by Pickens. If he can catch a ball better, run better patterns than anybody we have now, I would take Fields in a heartbeat. He's definitely faster than just about every other wide receiver we have other than Presley Harvin. Or Austin. Sorry, Austin. Just fellas. Pole position decided preseason. Don't forget that. Yeah, he did get pole position preseason before he injured himself. We are right on that. Joanne, welcome to the show. No Fields has earned that position. Tomlin is just going to put Wilson in to keep people from talking. I don't know. We're talking either way. We're talking either way, Joanne. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't, or perhaps you're not damned either way. Yeah, you either put in one great quarterback or you're putting in the other great quarterback. That's the way I see it. I'm seeing this as a win-win. But we do not have to know what we have in Russell Wilson. He's a 1-year rental. I don't think there's any way we give Russell Wilson a long-term extension because he's expecting 30 to 40 mil. I think we might be able to get Justin Fields cheaper. I think we can get him in the 20 to 30 range. And we have him for a longer period of time. Russell Wilson's getting toward the end of his career. This is his last contract. He might be able to go out and get paid again, though. And he's got to show if he can. Chamburo, Tomlin did not did the same with Kenny. Hurt Mike said it was fair competition, but that week Mason Rudolph got literally only 3 snaps the whole week in practice. Mike said fair competition, Trubisky starts. For me, I thought in the preseason, Rudolph outplayed Trubisky. And I thought that Trubisky should have been the third going into that year, especially watching the preseason games and everything else. Rudolph was the best deep ball quarterback out of those 3 and ended up being the best quarterback out of those 3 when you put him on the field. If he started all year, we might have Rudolph as our starting quarterback right now. Taburo, Trump, I don't do anything with any politics. Politics, I immediately go past. I don't care. Q Williams, because we all have opinions on that, and I don't want to talk that. I'd rather talk Steelers. Q Williams, Will McDonald could get a lot of pressure on Sunday night. Might eat Russ alive. He could. I fully expect Washington to be on that side, especially with some Muth. Chip that guy before going out for some flares and hopefully get some big plays off of those rushes, because that's how you make big plays too. If they over rush, make the play behind it. Russell Wilson is very good about beating the blitz in that respect. Got a Thule. I'm not acting like Fields is the guy, undoubtedly, but there's a reason why the Broncos are eating $85 million just to cut a guy. Wilson is just washed. I'd rather continue to develop a 24-year quarterback. I'm going to kill your perception on that. Russell Wilson stats. His stats last year were freaking awesome. League-wide, they're tops in the league. Last year, his stats with a crap team, 26 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, 3,000 yards. When you get that type of efficiency, 26 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, that's a starting quarterback in any league. And he's usually right around 10 interceptions a year, so he's under his average. He had 1 year at 6, 1 year at 5, 2 at 7, 1 at 8, 1 at 9, 2 at 11, 3 at 11, 1 at 10, 1 at 13. So yeah, right around that 9 to 10 mark is usually what he's at. He wasn't winning because the team was dog crap. They had no defense. But you can't fault him for those numbers. 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. I'd take that. Those are Roethlisberger numbers. We get to the Super Bowl with those kind of numbers. That's why we thought we had something in Russell Wilson. That's why we traded for Russell Wilson. And still their offense wasn't even that good. It was pretty much all Russ. Editor Dean, I had a colonoscopy done this week, and I almost died with not eating for 37 hours. I feel you. I feel you, Dean. Holy crap. It is difficult to go through those colonoscopies. My record for a water fast is 8 days. I've done a full week water fast twice. Now I'm on I think it's about my 5th 5-day fast. I've done a ton of 3-day fasts, and even like a butt ton. Like I'm in the 30s, 40s, 50s with 1-day fasts because that's the way I was starting to rotate my routine. I would eat on Sunday, exercise Monday morning, play my hockey game, exercise Tuesday morning, then eat on Tuesday. And Wednesday, I would eat normally the whole day. Thursday became, right. Yeah, because I'd eat Tuesday. Yeah, eat Tuesday. I take a day off on Wednesday. That's right. So I ate Wednesday, stopped eating Wednesday night, didn't eat Thursday or Friday until after I worked out. I'd come back and have breakfast. So yeah, I do the 1 day. So I was doing 2 days a week where I wouldn't eat a day. And that's really effective for your body and putting on some muscle too. Robert, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell were at the Vegas game together and confirmed that they'll be at the Jets game. Yet I imagine, I don't care about the rest of it. But yeah, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell were at the game. Why? Because they were at the Steeler Nation terrible tailgate, signing autographs, hanging out with our people. Forgot to see who's at our tailgate, terrible tailgate this week, guys. Let me check that out quickly. On SteelerNation.com over at the terrible tailgate. Got to get yins in to see what's going on down there for the terrible tailgate, going downtown. Seeing who's there this week. What is this? Buy tickets, terrible tailgate. Who we got this week? That was for Raiders, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. This week it is Mike Wallace. Awesome. Mike Wallace will be there this week for the terrible tailgate. Looks like it's going to be 3:30 until 7 p.m. Tickets this week, the donation is $50, which is cheaper than the Le'Veon Bell Antonio Brown game. Obviously, we had to pay $75 for that one. But this is a $50 game. All you can drink. Get the buffet if you come in early. Got a bunch of food there. Got the DJ. We're giving out a raffle for a signed Pat Freiermuth jersey. Looks like the third jersey, the all-yellow third jersey. Love that jersey. But former Steelers wide receiver Mike Wallace, who is one of the best Z receivers we've ever had and probably the shortest Z receiver to how good he was. The one-trick pony himself, Mike Wallace, coming in for the terrible tailgate. Get on down there, meet him, shake his hand. I should be down there for a little. I don't know if I'm going to make it or not this week. I'd like to make it down, but I'm not sure this week if I will. But please come to the Terrible Tailgate, Red Lot 5A, caddy corner from the closest corner from PNC Park, the baseball stadium, to Acrisure Stadium, and it's right on that near corner. As soon as you go diagonally across that intersection, that's where the DJ is, and that's where the Terrible Tailgate is. Red Lot 5A, 3:30 p.m. till 7 p.m. Be there, be square. Have some fun there with Mike Wallace, guys. Awesome, awesome time. Where am I now? I don't think it's the two quarterbacks. I think we are trying to make the Jets have to have bland defensive game plan. Yeah, pretty much. And that's hurtful. If a team has to go vanilla defense on this offense, that's where this offense is good. Indy started going a little prevent. We started moving the football, getting some touchdowns. Like, those are the things that can happen. Sean Payton just hated Russ and wanted him gone with a promise to turn the Broncos around. Well, now he's got Bo Nix. And how are they turning? How's that worm turning for them now? Broncos are 3-3. One loss to us. Week 1. So how you like me now? Cooley, Tomlin is a no-win situation. Plenty of fans want to see Wilson, while plenty are happy with Fields. Fans are going to bitch either way, and that's what's going on tonight. Whereas I'm fine with either. They're both talented guys. I'm happy to watch either of them play. I'm a little excited to see Russell Wilson play if he decides to play, just because I haven't seen him yet in the regular season in a Steeler uniform. In the throwback jerseys, guys! Throwback jersey game tonight. Third jersey is going to be the throwbacks. Throwing back to the 70s, the 50-year anniversary of the first Super Bowl, 1974, that we won. So we're wearing those throwback jerseys this week. So put on your block numbers and get ready for this game. You know how Tomlin does well with the late night games, but we also do well in the throwback games. Tarnell Jackson, welcome to the show. Russell, wide receivers dropped the ball a lot last year as well. Yeah, they did. They did. And he was still very efficient from his touchdown to interception ratio. Tim Burrow, when I lost the most weight, I was intermittent fasting every day plus every couple of weeks fast between 36 and sometimes up to 72 hours. So I was only averaging like 6 meals per week total. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and that's really when you start burning fat. Really is, man. Congratulations on that, Robert. I'm glad to hear you got back your health there during COVID. Robert, if Russell does better than Justin, then we know it's the right decision. But if Russell does markedly worse than Justin, we all know it was the right decision to see him now that we know. Yeah, this is probably a wait and see game. This is the only time of the season that we can do this. Because after the bye, we start going through the gauntlet, other than Cleveland and Cincy. Tim Burrow. But keeping Russell on the bench and not knowing would have been a horrible option, because this is the time of year at the latest you should figure this stuff out. Exactly. Because it's right at the trade deadline. Got a Thule. Justin has 5 touchdown passes to 1 interception. But then you add the 5 rushing touchdowns. He has 10 touchdowns and 1 interception. We also have no weapons besides Pickens, along with no protection. He's doing what he can, honestly. That is an excellent point. Hats off for Gattuso. I cannot argue. That is a solid argument. Solid freaking argument. 5 touchdowns passing, 5 rushing, 1 interception. That's a solid take. Solid take. I like that take a lot. 10 touchdowns to 1 interception. But true. And I think they just stated it's the most rushing touchdowns we've had since Cordell Stewart in a season. So that's pretty cool. And I expect him to have some more. Even if Russell Wilson starts, Fields can get a rushing touchdown in this game. Watch it. Tim Burrow, only bad if Russell plays exactly the same as Justin. Yeah, that would suck, but other than he can't run like Justin. Trey, do we really do good primetime? Seems like we've done horrible over the last few years at night. Usually Tomlin's record at night is exceptional. I'm trying to think of the games. I know we've had a couple losses here and there, but overall in the Tomlin era, we rip it in primetime games. He has a really good record on primetime games. To Burrow, Stryker, am I the only one who finds it annoying Russell Wilson is the only player ever with an ego problem enough to show the Walter Payton Trophy winner logo emoji superhero on a Steelers uniform? No. No, that's a big honor in the NFL. And if you notice, we have 2 of those logos on 2 different Steeler uniforms this year, Robert. The other one's on Cam Hayward, who just won it last year. So that to me is a big thing because we do not put things on our uniform unless Art Rooney passes, unless Dan Rooney passes. We put the patches on for those guys. But this is something that is one of the highest honors you can get in the NFL, and you can only win it once. Walter Payton Man of the Year. And I really want to get a Cam Hayward Walter Payton Man of the Year patch jersey because of it. I think that's just awesome. Absolutely awesome. Jessica Fellas, no primetime games give me nightmares. Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that, Cooley. Yeah, me too, Trey says. Yeah, I wish I had my thing from last year. Robert, it will be major traffic issues incoming from Plus. The cameras will show him during the game, so it's not political to mention the president will be at the game, same game as Brett Bell, Avian Bell. Oh, he's going to be at the game on Sunday. So he's saying just Trump's going to be at the game. That's fine. You can say something like that. Yeah, it's going to probably be a mixed crowd. And I hope he doesn't start a 40-minute dance party. I don't want to see that ever again. Please talk. So, guys, that's about all the time we have here on the show. We hit about the hour-long mark. Thank you so much for the conversation. This is your show. I'm sorry I missed last week. I got caught with work. I had family obligations that hit me, some work obligations, but back again. Obviously, I haven't been able to hit my Tuesdays here the last couple of weeks because Tuesdays have been slammed for some odd reason these last couple of weeks. But I should be back again Tuesday next week. Not going to be back after the game because I'll be at the game, camping out in North Allegheny Park like I always do in the Majestic RV. So if you guys are around, we usually relight some fires late at night. Plan on being out there Saturday, but going to tool around town. And I hear there's a Tim Burton pop-up bar in Pittsburgh right now, trying to see if we're going to go Saturday night. Check that out at 9:00. That might be a fun party. I think I'm going to dress as a pirate for that. Have a good time. But that's all time. Yeah, I didn't get to everything, Robert. Oh, you have a question from Steeler Nation? I will grab that. Got a Tooley. I'm a little biased because if you watch Wilson's first season with Denver, he was abysmal and totally was missing reads, wide open receivers, left and right, bad taste in my mouth. And that is fair. He was not as good the first season. He has 16 touchdowns to 11 interceptions, but he did much better last year. He was a legit quarterback last year. Plus, he's coming into a new system. Was that still Peyton Manning's system? Or Sean Payton's system? Wrong Peyton. There's too many Peyton. Too many Peytons. Got Peytons all over our team now, too. Peyton, my brain, red. Yeah, but you do raise a point. So we're both right in that respect. Yeah, he was dog crap the first year. Very average quarterback. Last year, he was a superb quarterback. He was Pro Bowl caliber last year. Trey, as Coach T would say, we have a good problem at quarterback. Definitely, Trey. Dean, let's go Steelers. Love my city. Love the fans. Love you, Dean. Thanks for helping out the show. Go Steelers. Thank you, Robert. This is my first time here. I'm going to join up for notifications. Please do, especially over on YouTube. My Twitter, I usually put out Twitter notifications too. And over at SteelerNation.com. Go check it out over there. I'm going to go back here to the thread that Cooley said he posted a question to. We'll see what the Cooley question is here. Did Coach Tomlin screw RT's mom and dump her? RT. Right. Right tackle's hitting me right there. It's not Russell Wilson. I don't know the question. I'm missing the reference. Go ahead and put it in here what RT stands for, and I'll get it to it last. Glenn, in my last 2 years, Wilson had the most sacked quarterback in the league. He's a statue coming off a 2.5 month calf injury behind a patchwork O-line. Interesting. Good point. That's a good point. Robert, hey, Cam won Walter Payton Award, which apparently had some fine print. If a player chooses the rest of their career, wear the logo on their uniform, but no other winners have the ego problem like Russell. Well, it wasn't the ego that put that on his jersey. It's the honor. That is a big honor to put on the jersey. And we haven't seen that ego here. He hasn't been chirping with Justin Fields starting the first 6 games. especially when he was fully healthy last week. Got a Tooley. No, he was with the Nathaniel Hackett. I think. Tiger, watch George Pickens explode this Sunday night. I hope so. That is a guy that can get Pickens the ball. Russell Wilson is a guy that can get Pickens the ball. Guy, that's all the time we've got for the Steeler Nation. Strikers Inside Slant. Follow me on the Tickety Talks, the Grammy Grams, and the Tickety Talk, Grammy Gram, and Twitter, X. That's the other one. At SN Stryker. I own all those platforms. So also sign up for us over on youtube.com/Steeler Nation. That's how a lot of these guys get these notifications as well when we start coming up. So that's the way it goes. Thank you very much, guys. I will be rooting along with you as always. Thank you, Stream Clips, too. He's not a statue. He's a better quarterback than that. Thank you so much, too, Cooley. I appreciate that, my friend. Oh, I read everybody's comments. I get to everybody. I might skip a couple here and there when it gets long, but that's the way it goes. Stryker, how will we feel after Steelers loss when Russell will be robotic and his press conference saying we'll win the 7th? It'll be a tough game, and all the haters are going to blame Tomlin and Russell Wilson if we lose it, if Russell Wilson starts. Now, what happens if Russell Wilson wins? Who do you have to complain about? What do you have to say then? That's what you have to think about, too, because we don't know how the game's going to go yet. But, guys, love you guys. Love Steeler Nation. I'm going to the game. I'll see you in Pittsburgh. And if not, I will be rooting along with you as always.